thank you for tuning in to our first Love Lounge Talk. This is the Woman Evolved series, and this is your girl, Christy Love. I want to introduce you to the ladies tonight. I have a beautiful, beautiful group of wonderful and fabulous ladies that we're going to be discussing any topics that you guys might want to be interested in, and we have our own topics that we're actually going to discuss as well. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go around the room and let the ladies introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Adelia.
Hi, I'm Sheena.
Hello, I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Stephanie.
And of course, I'm Christy Love. So we have a bunch of amazing topics. Ladies, I mean, feel free to jump in and add whatever you want to add, but we have a few things we can just start off with, I guess. Whenever y'all are ready, we can get,
Let's go.
Okay.
We ready.
All right, then. Let's do it. So, I guess the first topic I guess we wanted to bring up something initially before we even open. It was initially supposed to be, we have a couple of people missing, but one in particular, she wanted me to come on and discuss the situation that happened with her. One of the ladies, Anessa, that was supposed to be here tonight, asked me, with her permission, she asked me to speak on this because she was a victim of domestic violence last night. And her significant other attacked her last night about 3 a.m. in the morning. And so I wanted to start off, I guess, initially with that topic. We're not going to make this a heavy night. This is definitely a fun and light, wonderful evening. But we definitely want to address this because this is someone that's dear and dear to her. And we want to let everyone know how important it is to have a strong support system and a sister circle to support you throughout, situations such as this. So again, ladies, tell me, what do you think of? Why is it so hard for people to break soul ties? Like, what do you think? How is it that people can just move on when you're so attached to someone? Soul ties are so real.
So before even that, I think it's important to say how brave it was of her to even say, go ahead and talk about it.
Right.
Because a lot of times when we're talking about domestic violence, no one wants to talk about it. And
Right.
definitely the victims of it are not up for it, especially when it happened just not even, 24 hours, 48
Absolutely.
hours ago.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this, Anessa, kudos to you
Absolutely.
for being brave enough to say, I want this discussed. That's amazing. So sending love and light to you on that. And if we need to take off earrings.
Right.
Just gonna
Right.
put that out there,
Okay.
So your sister circle is here for whatever you need.
Absolutely.
So I think it's important to start off with that. But as far as soul ties are concerned, especially if you spend any amount of time with someone,
It's hard.
it's hard to, even when you see the damage,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. Sometimes we see the train wreck, we see it coming.
Right.
It might have even wrecked once or twice before, but when you're in it and you're, he can do better, or he can be better.
Right.
I would imagine that's got to be difficult. I can honestly say I've never been a victim of domestic violence in the way that I'm hearing it
Yes.
now. Now I had once I got yoked up.
Yeah, we all have. I think we all have a situation.
And I guess that qualifies as domestic violence. But the stories that I'm hearing happening more and more often in this day and age are insane to me.
Absolutely.
Now, luckily, I was able to get out of my situation without too much
Praise
damage.
God.
But it's soul ties are serious. And once you start commingling your lives, your love, your heart, you're open to it. You start feeling like I have to try to make this work. And
Right.
that's a problem.
That's true. I totally agree. Anybody else have anything they want to say?
I've never been a victim of domestic violence. However, some of my friends that I've talked to, like you said, their soul is in it, and it becomes where they feel they love that person more than they love themselves. So I've never been the one to bash, oh, you can do better. Oh, you don't, this is not for you. Why are you doing this? It's more of me talking to them about loving who they are first.
Absolutely.
And once they start to love their self more than they love that person, it's a little more easier for them to move on and know their worth. So that's what I tell my friends and friends that I have spoken with that's gone through this situation.
Yeah. And piggybacking off what you said as far as loving yourself, I think that goes back to how important it is when we decide for a person, a mate, someone that you're searching for as a mate. Your mate, whoever you choose, will determine your future, or, whether it's good or bad or whatever. It's very important that we be mindful and we, choose wisely when it comes to, relationships, because that person can either ultimately be your demise, or they can either bring you up, or they can bring you all the way down.
Your rise or your demise.
Your rise and your demise, absolutely.
Yeah, they can definitely be either one.
That's right, absolutely, absolutely. Anything you want to say, Miss Kimberly?
No.
No, just sit there and look beautiful as always.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, we just wanted to bring that up first and foremost, and everyone wants to let Anessa know that we absolutely love you, we support you, and we are here for you. Your sister circle are here for you strong, and if there's anything you need, we are here. So I wanted to just put that out there. Now let's get to the good stuff, the good topics. So, okay, so you ladies, tell me, like, what is your three top, like your three worst, I guess, pet peeves, I guess I would say, when it comes to dating, when you meet someone new? Like, what are the three things you just will not tolerate, like, in dating, that you noticed?
I haven't really dated in so long. You know what? Because I did. My aggravation level is no, let me take that back. My tolerance level is extremely low, and so as I'm watching my girlfriends date and go out and listening to their stories, I'll buy a goldfish. I just don't want it. My patience is like this thin. But what I can remember of the conversations, the few folks that do jump in the DM, I can't stand someone that doesn't have the capacity to have an intelligent conversation.
Yes.
That bothers me. Please do not come to me with the shout-a's.
Oh my God, that's right?
Please don't take letters off of words where there should be. Oh my God.
and the what's up, honey?
What's up?
Oh my God.
Don't WYD me to death.
Right.
Okay. Another pet peeve for me is if I've asked you and I ask this question all the time, what sets your soul on fire? And I ask that question because it's taken a few years for me to figure out what set my soul on fire, what's important to me, and then to walk in that purpose. So when I ask that question of you, I'm not asking for you to have a full response on what sets your soul on fire, but at least have a path, So when I hear, I'm done. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Because at this stage in the game, at the age that we are, and even if you don't know, you have a general idea. If you're a sneakerhead, if you want to save the world, if you want to be the next president, whatever it is, there's something that you're passionate about. Be able to speak on that intelligently. So I guess I just have two. I can't stand a lack of intelligence. That in all aspects.
Right.
So,
Anything that you would like to say? I'm sure you got a lot to say.
Well, the texting. Our initial call should be a phone call, not texting.
Right.
Don't bring up sex in a conversation, because I won't talk to you anymore after that.
Never again.
Yes, I cannot.
Never again.
And just being consistent. If you can't be consistent and have a good conversation, there's nothing else for us to talk about.
I agree. I totally agree.
My tolerance is low as well. So any little thing, like you said, what you doing, or
I'm working. What do you think I'm doing?
abbreviating, or this pig Latin language they want to be talking, like, no.
I mean, I'm with you on that. What you're doing, like, I get what you're doing text in the middle of the day when I'm at work. I'm like, what are you doing? That's what I said. What are you doing? You asking me what I'm doing? Like, are you serious right now?
How's your day? But what are you doing?
Right.
Yeah, it's like the craziest.
Right.
So yeah, that's one of the things that I would definitely say. Consistency is one of my, like, I think that's like one of the top things on my list, because I can't stand an inconsistent man. It's the worst.
You know what, piggybacking again off what you just said, and what both of you said about consistency, you have to be real careful with that word. because someone can be consistently bad.
Bad, that's true.
So you
that
have to
is
be
true.
very clear
Absolutely.
about what type of consistency
Right.
you want.
That is true.
So
That
are
is-
you consistently?
That's a word.
Because
That is definitely a word.
and the only reason I'm using it is because I've done it. I've said I want consistency, and then you was consistently an asshole, and then I was mad about it because
He was consistent.
but he was consistent. That's what you said you wanted to do. So why are you mad
Right.
that he did what you wanted him to
That's
do?
right.
You know, so you have to be
Clear.
very
Absolutely.
clear.
Absolutely.
The universe is very funny, and that heifer got an attitude. And she will give you exactly what you asked
Yes,
for
she
if
will.
you are
So
not
if you're not
specific.
specific,
Yes,
right.
you have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely
Well,
right.
mine would have to be one, a liar. I cannot stand a liar.
Ooh.
And Atlanta has a
Oh my God.
They're the worst.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say Atlanta, but
It's a lot of them here though.
yeah,
I'm not gonna say all Atlanta men, but there's
But-
quite a few.
liars.
And pretenders, fakers.
Oh, yeah. A selfish person. I
Yeah.
cannot do a selfish person. I'm not a selfish, so I don't understand it. You
Yeah.
know. And those are probably my two biggest.
Yeah, yeah. I think y'all hit every one of mine like at that moment. Okay, I guess we want to talk about the fact that we talk about. I bring this up in my message all the time as far as since I've been on my little my journey and my singleness. I talk about how I was attracting the wrong type of men. And I guess it was because I was projecting a certain type of energy. So whatever I was putting out, I was bringing it in. So since I've been on my journey, I talk about this a lot. I've been finding myself, and I've noticed that I'm getting a different type of, attention from different type of men. And I feel like, but I'm not worried about the relationship part at this particular time. But what I want to reiterate on is how, just in my stillness, in my moment of singleness, how I'm able to start moving in my purpose. And I want to just touch on that with you ladies as far as how important it is, like to find your purpose and, what things do you feel like, have brought you to start moving your purpose. I know each one of us here are, moving in our own right, and we're all entrepreneurial and successful, and we have our own businesses and things that we're growing. I want to talk to each one of you about how you just feel like how important it is, and how did you come about finding your purpose as far as your journey. Adalia, who wants to start first?
Well, I guess I can start. I feel like it's important for any woman to start, going into their purpose. It definitely helps with your confidence level and makes you feel like, you can bring something to the world and to share your gift with other people. But you really can't tap into your purpose until you really know yourself.
That's right.
And in order to do that, you really have to be surrounded with a strong sister circle, people who love you, can uplift you. But I didn't start really tapping into my purpose until I feel like once my kids got older, because my focus was so much on them. But then once they get older and it's almost time for them to go, and then you sit back and you wonder like, okay, what am I supposed to do?
What do I like?
Yeah.
So it's important to start knowing those things before they even move out the house.
Yeah. That's true. What about you, Stephanie?
I think once you start keying in on your purpose, and then develop or evolving as your own person, and then dealing with the dating issue, you don't settle. Like, you already know what you're looking for as far as a spouse or someone that you're interested in. So I think your tolerance for anything that does not flow with your purpose is eliminated. So I think that helps with that, and finding a spouse or a person that you're interested in.
And I want to piggyback on that, and then we'll let Kim speak, and then Adalia, of course.
Don't do me like that.
But I want to piggyback on what you said, because that was like before I was at the beginning of me being single or whatever, that was like my main focus is being in a relationship. I didn't like being single. But now I'm starting to realize as God is really moving me into my purpose, I'm starting to realize that a relationship is not beneficial for me at this stage in my life because it will be a distraction. You know what I'm saying? While I'm moving into my purpose and I'm doing everything that I need to be doing, and God is constantly moving and giving me visions and things that I need to be moving into, a relationship at that moment, like at this moment in time, is not beneficial because that's definitely a distraction. So I realized that. So right now I'm just focusing on planting those seeds, and then as I'm planting those seeds, for some reason, I just feel like in my spirit that I'm going to cross paths with that special someone by me doing my
because
purpose.
it's gonna flow.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna flow.
That's
Yeah,
that purpose.
absolutely.
Right. So you gonna know when it comes, you're gonna know.
Yeah, I feel like, once I stop focusing on the relationship part of it all, then everything is just kind of coming full circle. But God is moving me in my purpose, and whoever I meet, I truly believe that they're going to work we're going to work as in unison together in my purpose.
You'll be
And
a
we're gonna,
team.
we're going to be a team. I do. Yeah. There you go, Kim. You have the floor. I'm sorry. Then we'll get to Mr.
Thank
Dow.
Well, my purpose in life is doing me. All about me.
And that's good. It should be all about you.
And he will fall in line with me whichever way I go, because I'm going to be traveling the world.
Right.
So that
I'll be traveling.
yes, my partner will have to travel with me as well, and that's my purpose in life.
Okay.
It's about me. If it's not about me, then next.
I cannot with you. Mrs. Dow, you have the floor, sister.
So I always knew what I wanted to do, trying to manifest it in a way that worked for my life. I couldn't quite figure out.
Can I say this? Before, I didn't mean to jump in, but I meant to tell you all guys about Miss Adalia before I even got
Oh,
started.
you don't have to.
Well, let me just brag on you for a minute, sister.
Okay, sis.
This is one of the most loving and kind and giving people that I've ever experienced in my entire life. She's really a godsend to so many. She has several, girl, you got so many, I can't even keep up. But she has so many different nonprofits. She has Dignified Diva, We Rockin' Heels, right?
We rock it, yeah.
And what's the other one? The father-daughter dance.
Oh, okay. So everything's under the.
Okay, the umbrella.
same. Yeah.
Okay, but she's fabulous, y'all. But let her go ahead and tell y'all what all she's doing.
So as far as purpose is concerned, it took a few major breakups for me to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to sit, and I'm still sitting in my own stuff.
Right.
And
Y'all are.
that's hard to do when you're someone that likes being in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed being in a relationship. I liked the companionship. I loved coming home to talk to my partner, talk to him about what was going on in my life and what happened at work and what I'm excited about doing. So to have to sit with myself and really get to know who Adalia is was a rough pill to swallow for me. But in doing that, over the last 4 years now, I've been single, and I'm starting to figure it out.
Right.
So it's not even that I'm there, I got it. I don't. I figure this out every single day. So it's easier now than it was in the beginning. It's still a struggle for me because I still want to come home and talk to someone about the things that I'm excited about and the things that I'm doing. But you learn to kind of pat yourself on the back and you go to sleep with the laundry on the other side of the bed, whatever. But in that, I was able to focus. The focus becomes laser set on the path that you want to travel. And for me, my yellow brick road has been that I wanted to always support women and girls in need. I have a mother, I have a sister, I have girlfriends that I'm super close to, and what I was finding was that my girlfriends were going through things that they were afraid to talk about because they weren't sure how it was going to be received by the group. They were going through things that I had absolutely no idea was going on. Literally, one girlfriend was sitting one row up from me, and I didn't know what was going on with her until I had to corner her, and she said, "This has been my situation." how did I not know that? I spent more time at work
Yeah,
than
but
anywhere
you didn't
else.
know.
Didn't know what she was going through. You know, so through that, it forced me to stop and to really take stock of who was in my life, who was important to me, and start asking some questions.
Yeah.
And from that grew, oh wow, I could do something with this, and I can kind of maneuver that, and you know, make these things happen, and
Right.
maybe it can affect some people. So everything that I do, I appreciate the love, but everything that I do, it's not just me doing it.
Yeah.
There are so many people that have supported and donated and said, we believe in you, and even when I fumble, it's okay, Adelia, we still got, you know what I mean? So this is definitely not me doing it on my own.
It takes a village.
It takes an absolute
Yeah.
village, and mine is real strong.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's amazing how many people want to be involved but aren't sure how to do it or who they can trust to be involved with. And I've just been fortunate enough to be the bridge, you know, and that's
Right.
really all that I am. It's
Right.
just a bridge.
Well, you are, when I say you are definitely a pillar, and we love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
Yes, I love all you ladies.
This
I
is
mean-
not waterproof. Don't do that.
Yeah. Yes. So, ladies, is there anything else that we want to talk about? I mean, I have a few more topics, but I want to see what you guys come up with. Sheena, I'm sure you have something.
Oh, really?
Did I put you on the spot?
You did.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So just bring up any topic.
Whatever you want to bring to the forefront.
Well, as far as because we've been kind of to the window to the wall, dating, personal life.
Yeah.
I guess we can still continue on with the dating topic.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I got a good one. How about this? Let's talk about how important it is for you to have a strong circle around you. How important it is. Like, everybody needs that one no-nonsense friend. You need that compassionate, that empathetic friend. Like, let's talk about that. Like, I don't know which one I am. Which one am I? Am I the empathetic friend? I don't know, because this right here is the no-nonsense all the way.
None at all.
Yeah.
Definitely the balance. I
You
can,
bet
see
you
both,
are.
I can see both sides of the story. So
Yeah.
I can be able to tell you, well, I mean, I can see where he was going. I can see where
Yeah,
you're
you
going.
can kind of, yeah.
I can balance it out.
Yeah, this one is no nonsense. I'm a little more, I know, me and Adalia about the same, I think.
Yeah.
We're both cancers, you guys. We're both cancers, so we both have the same empathetic, nurturing.
We just sparkle on
Yes.
you and come get a hug and you know I love you right, but
Yeah.
you know.
And this is my spiritual sister. I say this one is the one I call when I need deep talks and I need her to get me back on the right track. And this is the one when I need somebody to snap me up and get me together. Yeah, so I think it's so important, like your circle.
To have a
It's so
balance of friends.
yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Friends with different personalities that serve certain purposes. for you.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
And also ones to be careful for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Or knowing to pinpoint that person.
yes.
Yeah.
So
yes.
you already know where
With-
they stand,
you know,
right,
who they are.
Right.
In whatever
You know what I'm
situation,
saying?
Right.
you know,
Especially
There
the
you
ones, those friends that they like to see you win, but not
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 more
better
than them.
than them.
Yeah,
You know,
and,
so
it's
gotta
a
be
lot of
careful.
them now.
Yeah.
Because I've had situations, and I'm sure all of you have, where you had friends that were frenemies.
Mhm.
You know, we all have had that situation where we had frenemies and they smile in your face and pretend like they're happy for you, but really behind your back, they really are jealous and they
Yeah,
don't like you.
absolutely.
Like, that's like the,
That's the one.
it's the worst. It is. Because if you rather, for me, I'd rather know where you're coming from than to think that you're my friend and find out later on that
That
you're not for me. So, and I know you recently had a situation like that not too long ago. A few times, I remember you.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I always call you.
Yes, because it's crazy.
Yeah.
And us is all women, but especially us as black women, I think we have the hardest time as far as like supporting each other.
It's the trust.
It is.
Yeah,
It
a lot
is.
of broken
And it's
trust.
always a
And that's just
competition.
within our community as a whole.
Yeah.
anyways. But on top of being black and then a woman, it's even more challenging for you to that trust there.
Yeah.
Because somebody may
I
always
do
have
agree.
some type of motive
Mhm.
or is not always genuine.
Yeah.
Well, and you never want to feel like you're the topic for conversation in another circle.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it stops you from having conversations that you probably could learn something from someone because
Yeah.
you're afraid, for fear of that conversation. How how many times have we been in a conversation with some friends and one is talking about the other and that one's not there, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not saying anything because I don't want to be a topic for conversation.
Right, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
and I think it's important not only to have solid sister circles, but to have more than one.
Oh yeah, you definitely
know,
do.
you need to have more than one. I have been fortunate enough to have a couple of great sister circles here in Atlanta. I have a super solid one back home in Illinois where I grew up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have an amazing one in Jersey where I spent some time. So I've got, different circles that I feel comfortable that I can, but they're all extremely close to me. And to be honest with you, only one of those circles I've had for well over half my life. The other sister circles are ones that I've developed in the last 10 years. I'm almost 45. So, you don't always keep the same circles, right? High school, college, whatever.
Yeah.
You hope that you do, but that's not
Doesn't
always
always
the
happen
case.
like that.
I mean, because you're growing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you grow
Apart. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And it's okay. There's no love lost. I don't hate you. I'm not mad. I wish you well, but our paths they're different now, and that's okay. I wish you the best.
That's true. So that's true. Well, I mean, anything else anybody wants to say? I think we've covered some good topics. I mean, anything else today? I know you got something else.
Girl, listen. I just think that it's super important to find who you are.
It is.
It really is. I mean, outside of your children, outside of your husband and or significant other, outside of the job that you may have, outside of the career, find what is important to you. I've been married twice. And so I can tell you a bunch of ways to mess it up. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm going to get it right. The third time's a charm.
That's right.
I did it very, very young. I did it in the middle. I know what I want now. But the bottom line outside of all of that is always know who you are. Who is Adalia? Who is Christy? Who am I outside of all this other stuff? Because when those things start to deteriorate, hoping that they won't, but if they do, and then you try to get back to who you were, if you don't know who that person is, it's that much harder to figure it out. Kids grow up and they move on. You love them with all you got, but they're gonna go. You and your husband or you and your significant other may or may not last. Praying that you do, but if you don't, who are you? And how are you gonna survive that? It's important to just really know who you are. Figure out what you love and what you want to do, and hold on to that so that it's that beacon outside of all the other things.
Yes, and I absolutely agree. I that's one of the things, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one of the things that I say all the time. Once you find out who you are, then everything else will just fall in place. But that's the most important thing, is finding who you are. Because I can say, like, this has been the most amazing journey that I've been on. I think ever since, other than my kids and all that, but really this has really been an amazing journey for me to really just find myself. I have like I say the most peace I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm not saying my marriage was all the way bad, but it was we had some difficult times, and through that though I learned some things about myself now, and I'm still learning. But as I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm at a good place, and I'm at peace. And I appreciate that, and through all of that, I'm actually finding my purpose and who I am, so I'm thankful for that.
If you don't find your purpose, then you'll find yourself living in someone else's shadow.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any type of leadership about yourself, and you just kind of blowing in the wind,
That's true.
And that will take you forever to reach your goals. Because you have to really sit down, buckle down, like everyone else is saying, find out who you are. That way you can start making plans and making preparations for your future, because otherwise every decision that you make is basically going to lead you to whatever type of future that you're going to have, whether it's going to be chaos or if you're going to be, living in bliss. But whatever decision you make for that day will affect your future. So, yeah.
And also, you keep in mind that if you don't stand in that purpose, you continue to repeat the same
Cycle. Yes, you
so
do.
you never get to a point where you never learn. And that was, I'll admit it, that has been my life for a bit. continuing the same cycles.
Yeah, me too.
You know, not being able to just sit. I gotta be doing, I gotta be going, I gotta, you know, and so now it's, yes, I'm going, I'm doing, but it's purposeful, it's deliberate, it's concentrated,
Right.
you know, and it's with not just me and my, it's intentional,
Yeah.
it's very intentional.
Yes.
And it looks, a lot of days it looks a little manic. It looks a little crazy, but I'm very, very intentional with my life now in a way that I never was before. And again, you know, it's definitely for me, but I have a 19-year-old daughter and a 21-year-old son. He'll be 22 on Tuesday.
Girl, you look good.
You
You
know,
look good.
and you know, my baby girl, she'll be 20 in April, so it's they're watching. They're still watching.
Yes.
They're paying attention to everything that I do, and I don't think I noticed just how much they're still paying attention till in the last like 2 or 3 years, because now they're old enough to really understand the decisions that I make.
Right.
When they were younger, you gonna do what I told you to do, and that's gonna be the end of
That's
that. Now they are really questioning, which really aggravates me. Stop questioning me. You don't pay no bills in here. But I have to really be deliberate about things because I have to be able
And
to
that will help
answer
them.
them. Right.
It gives them logic behind the reasons why
Why
you
they
made the
do.
decisions that you made.
Exactly.
And then it'll kind of click in their head like, you know what, that makes sense. So then that will help them in their adult life make the right decision.
It helps
We
me
always
too.
tell our kids, you know, do what I say, not what I do.
Yeah.
But it's like if you don't really put a why behind it, then of course they're gonna go out there and they're gonna, you know, touch the fire because
explore.
you know.
They don't understand why. And it reinforces for me as well. If I'm explaining to them why I've made a certain decision, sometimes as I'm saying it to them, I'm thinking, ooh, Adelia, that's no, don't do that. You know, because you're listening to why you did it, you're telling it to your child, and you're thinking about it. And there have literally been times where I've been having a conversation with the kids, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, don't, wait a minute, okay, we're not gonna do that. Mom made a mistake, and you have to be okay to say that to your children.
Right.
I made a mistake, and you know, I have to fix it. This is how we're gonna fix it. You know that I'm human. I make mistakes too, and this is how we're gonna try to figure it out.
Right.
You know,
That's true.
so.
I agree. Well, ladies, I think we've had a wonderful, wonderful first Love Lounge talk. What you think? I think it was very, very informative.
We'll save the other topics for another day.
Well, no, we're gonna go live for a few minutes and do our answer some questions on Facebook. So
Oh,
yes, we're gonna let the audience come in on this next session. So yeah, we'll only be on there for maybe about a good 15 minutes or whatever. We're gonna go live and let the audience ask us questions and just kind of interact with us for a little while. But I just want to say thank you, ladies, again for coming. Before we end and go to a close, I would love for us to say prayer. We mentioned go in the beginning. You're not going to lead us in prayer tonight, Sheena? Isaiah, you mind leading us in prayer?
Okay.
Did I put you on the spot?
I think she's gonna do it, right?
Well, I want to do a prayer for Nessa, you know, with all of us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. I would love to do one for all of us, but definitely, you know, one for our sister, Anessa. I want people to see what a real sister
circle
real
looks like.
sister circle looks like. Okay. Let me put my glass down. Today I want to mix my glasses.
Girl, there ain't nothing in mine no more.
Okay. All right, Aday. Take the floor.
I can go ahead.
Okay, Miss Sheena, lead the floor, honey.
So be just a nice little sweet prayer. Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you right now for gathering us all together. A strong unity and a sister bond, Father God. Lord, we just want to thank the host, Chrissy, and I ask that you bless her with all of the endeavors that she has inspired and that you continue to uplift her and put her into the direction and the path that she needs to take, Lord. I also just want to ask that you continue to bless the night with laughter, love, sincerity, and guidance. Guidance for the rest of our journeys together as friendship. And we just thank you right now in the mighty name of Jesus. I pray. Amen.
Amen, sister. Yes. And that is our Love Lounge talk. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll catch you guys on our live in about 5 or 10 minutes. We're going live, so come in and answer any questions that you'd like. But again, this is Christy Love signing out. Ladies, say good night.
Good night.
Good night.